Hello to all my toddler and preschool friends. Miss Leevie here. It is, oh my goodness, I think it's week 13 since I haven't seen all you boys and girls and your families. I miss you so much. This week I'm going to read to you a book because reading is so very important. Reading expands our imagination. It teaches us new words. And not only teaches us new words, but you can learn to read yourself, especially my preschoolers. You can start to read some 2-letter words and 3-letter words and 4 and even 5-letter words. I know some of my friends in the preschool program recognize 3-letter words such as dog, D-O-G, and cat, C-A-T. And my toddler friends, well, they're still learning to speak and still learning some of their words themselves. So eventually they'll get to learn how to read as well. But reading is really, really important. So if you have a big sister or a big brother, an aunt and uncle, a mom and dad, a grandma and grandpa, anybody that's a bit older than you and knows how to read, or even someone that's the same age as you and knows how to read, maybe they can read a book with you. Just by sitting next to someone and listening to them and watching them read and hearing the story, that can help you read too. So, rule of thumb, thumbs up for all my friends that decide to pick up a book and look at the pictures and tell their own story by looking at the pictures, or have somebody read a book to them every day, not just today, every day. And I don't know about you, but before I go to bed, I read a book. And maybe somebody reads a book to you too. It's very important, something fun to do. Excuse me. And I'm at my house, so I covered my cough with my hand. But at the daycare, we're going to cover our cough with our arms. Today's book is called David's Father. And if we get really close here, we see a little girl, and she's getting a soda pop from a very big, ginormous hand. I wonder whose hand that belongs to. So find a spot where you can see my book, see my book. Find a spot where you can see my storybook. Okay. Can you see the picture? Wonderful. Julie was skipping home from school. She came to a large moving van. A man came out carrying a spoon, only it was as big as a shovel. Another man came out carrying a fork, only it was as big as a pitchfork. A third man came out carrying a knife, only it was as big as a flagpole. Yikes, said Julie. I don't want to get to know these people at all. She ran all the way home and hid under her bed until dinner time. I guess somebody very big would need to use a fork this big. We shall see. The next day, Julie was skipping home from school again. A boy was standing where their moving van had been. He said, "Hi, my name is David. Would you like to come and play?" Julie looked at him very carefully. He seemed to be a regular sort of boy and around her age, so she stayed and she played. At 5 o'clock, from far away down the street, someone called, "Julie, come home and eat." "That's my mom," said Julie. Then somebody called, "David." "That's my father," said David. Julie jumped up in the air, ran around in a circle 3 times, ran home, and locked herself in her room till it was time for breakfast the next morning. I guess David's dad's voice was very deep and very loud. Julie got a little bit scared there. The next day, Julie was skipping home and she saw David again. He said, "Hi, Julie, do you want to come and play?" Julie looked at him very, very carefully. He seemed to be a regular boy, so she stayed and she played. When it was almost 5 o'clock, David said, "Julie, please stay for dinner." But Julie remembered that big knife, the big fork, and the big spoon. Well, I don't know, she said. Maybe it's a bad idea. I think maybe, no, goodbye, 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 goodbye. Well, said David, we're having cheeseburgers, chocolate milkshakes, and a salad. Oh, said Julie, I love cheeseburgers. I'll stay. I'll stay, I'll stay, I'll stay. Oh, she decided to change her mind. So they went into the kitchen. There was a small table with cheeseburgers, milkshakes, and salads. On the other side of the room, there was an enormous table. On it were a spoon as big as a shovel, a fork as big as a pitchfork, and a knife as big as a flagpole. David, whispered Julie, who sits there? Oh, said David, that's where my father sits. You can hear him coming down now. David's father sounded like this. Boom, boom, boom. Must be a very heavy walker. He opened the door. David's father was a giant. On his plate, there were 26 snails, 3 fried octopus, and 16 bricks covered with chocolate sauce. Oh my. He's a very big man. He's a giant. David and Julie ate their cheeseburgers, and the father ate the snails. David and Julie drank their milkshakes, and the father ate the fried octopus. David and Julie ate their salads, and the father ate his chocolate-covered bricks. When they were done, Julie said very softly to the father, so the father couldn't hear, David, you don't look very much like your father. Well, I'm adopted, said David. Oh, said Julie. Well, do you like your father? He's great, said David. Come for a walk and you will see. So they walked down the street. Julie and David skipped along and the father went boom, boom, boom. They came to a road and they couldn't get across. The cars would not stop for David. The cars would not stop for Julie. The father walked into the middle of the road after looking left and right, side to side. And he looked at the cars and he yelled, Stop! Oh my. The cars all jumped in the air, ran around in a circle 3 times, and went back up the street as fast as they could. They even forgot their tires. Julie and David crossed the street and went into a store. The man who ran the store didn't like serving kids, so they had to wait 5 minutes. No, wait, 10 minutes. No, wait, 15 minutes. Then David's father came in. He looked at the storekeeper and said, These kids are my friends. The man jumped up in the air and ran around the store 3 times and gave David and Julie 3 boxes of ice cream, 11 bags of potato chips, and David walked down the street and went around the bend. I guess Dad came to the rescue there. There were 6 big kids from grade 8 standing in the middle of the sidewalk. They looked at David, they looked at Julie, and they looked at the food. Then one big kid reached down and grabbed a box of ice cream. David's father came around the bend. He looked at those big kids and yelled, Beat it! They jumped right out of their shirts. They jumped right out of their pants, and they ran down the street in their underwear. Julie ran after them, but she slipped and she scraped her elbow. Ouch! Sometimes we fall and get bobos. And look at this. David's father picked her up and held her. Then he put a special giant Band-Aid on her elbow. Julie said, Well, David, you do have a very nice father after all, but he is still kind of scary. I guess a great big giant would be a little bit scary, but you can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge somebody else by the way they look, because see, David's dad, although very big and a big scary giant, is very nice after all. You think he's scary? Said David. Wait till you meet my grandmother. Oh my goodness, look at David's grandmother. She's a giant too, but look how hairy her leg is. What do you think she is? Do you think she's a big grandma, a big giant grandma with just a hairy leg? I don't know, that leg looks to me like it could be a bear leg. It could be a gorilla leg. It could be Rex's leg. Rex has dark hair like that. We will see. Maybe they'll show us. Oh, they don't. They don't show us. It goes to the next story. My next story in one of my favorite books is a Robert Munsch book. See, it's my great big book. And it has all different stories inside. But that's the end of the story there. We have to turn the page back. We're not going to read Thomas's snowsuit today. Maybe we'll save that for the winter time. But look, we go back and it says, you think he's scary? Wait till you meet my grandmother. So we just never know. We just never know how somebody is until we get to talk to them, till we get to meet them. Because really, it doesn't matter what somebody looks like. They could be very nice. So we have to treat people with kindness and respect, and treat people and our friends and our teachers the way we want to be treated. That's the moral of my story. So even biggest giants in the world can be the friendliest. I hope everybody has a great day, is continuing to keep a safe social distance and cover your cough and wash your hands and help around the house. Continue to have fun and enjoy this nice sunshine weather. My countdown is on. I hope to see you all soon. Ciao for now.